Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to learn how to make a sticker book. So I have these little ephemera packs right here. And I need to make one more because I thought I made 3, but I only made 2. So we are making a little burn book sticker book. And I'm going to show you it's basically the same thing. And I'm sorry if my desk is wobbling a little bit. I still have to kind of fix that because it's new. So anyway, what you guys are going to need is a glue stick, some fabric tack, some trim, a file folder, and some sticker paper. So I'm just doing this live, kind of live with you. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm just using smaller sticker paper because this is going to go into a mini sticker book. So I didn't need to use my larger sticker paper. So I did buy this on Amazon sticker. It is sticker release paper is what it is called, just so you guys know. So what we are going to do is I have my paper cutter in the other room, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do first before I go cut it. So basically we're going to take the front of our book, whatever the cover is, and we are actually going to see how this file folder has like 3 lines right here. We're actually going to line this up with the first line. That way it's kind of straight. And we're gonna just kind of save ourselves and just do it all the way, glue it all the way up there. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this side. I'll probably just put this on my back piece. And I use the Scotch wrinkle-free or Scotch permanent glue. It has worked really well for me. It sticks really well. I don't have any issues with it. I've been using it for over a year, almost 2 years now, and it has never failed me. So if you get a little glue, you can wipe it off, but we're just gonna kind of line it up with that first line there and line it up with the top of our folder. So once we have that in place, we can use something, you know, to push that down. I'm going to use my scissors because it's right in front of me. When I go cut my paper, I'm going to also grab my bone folder because you'll probably need one of those as well. All right. So now I did have it a little bit above that, but that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is flip it over just like this. And I'm going to leave a little room. And now we're going to put the back of the book here. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. And if you don't have a file folder, you can use cards, like really heavy duty cardstock, I'd say, or you could use chipboard. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and take my piece, get that all glued up. Make sure that the corners are the most important thing. And then I just put a couple sticks in there. All right, so if you get little clumps like that, you can just rub them in. So now I'm gonna kind of just eyeball this. You don't really have to use a ruler, but you can. And I'm just eyeballing this and making sure that it's all the way up against my top piece. And then it's on this side. You don't want to do it on this side because what you're going to do is essentially cut this, and you want these 2 pieces together because this is going to be your binding. So if that makes sense. All right, so now we're going to go ahead all right, so that's pretty even. So now as you can see, when I open it, there is a little piece right there, which is fine. We're going to use some decorative masking tape. I'm just going to use the pink one, I think. I had a different color, but I don't know where it is. So we're just going to go ahead and do pink on this one. I do have these looking like that, but If I find it, well, we can always make another one, but I need to get these done. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it from end to end all the way across. So I'm gonna get my paper cutter and be right back. Okay, I'm back. So what we are going to do is we are going to cut, oh, I'm sorry about the dogs, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. So I did find my decorative tape, so we're gonna use that. Now, the first thing you're gonna do, I'm gonna bring this back here. I wouldn't suggest going through, these are pretty thick, so for a paper cutter to make it last longer, I would not do your double. So we're just gonna cut one side at a time. And I apologize, this is gonna be a little bit at an angle because I have all my stuff on my desk. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of line this up, and we're gonna cut up the side. We're gonna try to get it as even as possible. And you could even cut it through this way first, so you have two. That probably would have been better, but I'll show you guys what I mean. So actually, you probably couldn't because it's too long, but that's okay. We're just gonna go with the flow. And then we're gonna cut this side. Now, it's okay if it takes some of those edges off. It just took like a little tiny sliver. You won't even notice that. All right, and then save these scraps because these can be used to make portfolios and things like that. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and cut this part off. And hopefully I made it nice and even. Looks like I did pretty good. And now we're gonna just cut across the bottom. And we can probably even fit another, yeah, we can make another burn book with this part. So you essentially get two of the mini books on one file folder. So if you see that some of the edges are still kind of like showing of that pink, because I only want that hot pink to show, I'm just gonna cut a little sliver off just to get that light pink off. And then we could even trim it if you wanted to, cut with your scissors. I'm just gonna make it, because these are going in ephemera packs, I'm gonna make it a little bit more better, more professional looking. There we go. Okay, so you can corner edge this if you wanted. We're just gonna keep it looking like the actual book from the movie. So no worries there. All right, so now what we are gonna do is we are going to cut our sticker paper to size. And let me make sure I put in, because this is actually 1, 2, 3. So it's actually 6 pages. So we're gonna cut 3 of these in here. And we're gonna cut them a little bit smaller to the book. I pretty much did the same width on this one. So they're all gonna come out a tad bit different if you don't measure per se. And even then, you guys, sometimes I measure and it still comes out like that, and it's okay. So what we are going to do first is we are going to, and sticker paper, the release paper, it is very slippery, so I do go ahead and I cut each one individually. So let me put that one there for now. And what we are doing now is we are just, let me put this all the way up. We're just gonna take those dotted lines off. And I think we're gonna keep it the same, pretty much the same. We're just gonna get those holes off there because we don't want that showing. All right, you guys with me so far? So that's all we're doing, is just cutting the holes. And then we may just need to cut the width of this just a bit, but we'll find out here in just a minute. And now, as you can see, they're all kind of this, they are the same width. So if we fold them, are they gonna fit in here? Let's see. You don't have to fold it to really find out. Let me see. This might be a little bit too wide. So I'm gonna cut about a 1/2 inch off on each side. And I think I'm comfortable enough to do this part with like 2 or 3. Just line them up as best you can when you do that. And we're gonna do a 1/2 inch, and I'll be right back. All right, so I actually did end up cutting them individually. That's probably the best bet to make sure that they're all even. So this is about all even. Okay, now you can put these together with a paper clip or some type of clip. I like to use sewing clips because we are going to sew this just like that. Right now though, I'm gonna go ahead and fold them. So I'm going to try to, we can kind of use the help of our clips if we want when we fold this, because these are slippery. Normally you wouldn't do this if it was just paper, but because it is a slippery sticker release paper, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is even as possible. And when I crease in the middle, and then I go up and down. So we're going to go ahead, ooh, there we go, and crease down. And you can do these individually too if you wanted. This is just sticker paper though, and it's going in the book, so it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect, but there we go. All right, so now that's gonna go in there. It is looking like it's gonna hang out just a little bit, so we're gonna take a little bit off. And I'm sorry, it's very hard to film with dogs. So forgive me, forgive my dog. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of slip this in here and just kind of hold it all down just with my hands, because it is so small, we can do that. And I am going to cut just a little bit off. Okay, that should be good. So that's nice and even. Throw that in our trash. And now it'll go into the book and it's not going to stick out and look ugly, right? All right, so now what we are going to do is we are going to sew, and we are just going to do 2 holes in the middle like that, and then tie them. So you will need your twine for this, and then a awl, or I call it a pokey tool sometimes. These are small little books, so we're just using the small one, and then a needle, which I believe I used maybe this one. Just make sure your twine is thick enough to go through your needle, which this one should be okay. So also I keep foam piece right here nearby so I don't poke my table or anything. So what we are going to do to keep all of this in place, this is where those handy dandy clips come in, because we're just, normally you would make a template and everything if you're going to do more than one to your book, but because this is just a small tiny little sticker book, we are doing just the little few stitches. So I'm gonna put my clips on that, and then I'm going to line this up, and I'm gonna put a hole here and here, and that's it. Now, while it's still kind of punctured or still holding together, I'm going to go ahead and do it from the other side. I do this with all of my sewing because I want to make sure my needle goes through easily. So, and that's it for that one. Now we're going to go ahead and thread our needle. So I'm going to use this one, and then I would say probably 2 times the width of your book is what I usually do. All right, you guys, I'm back. So we've threaded our little needle, And I would recommend getting some washi tape here, but I am just going to eyeball this and not be so picky about it. So we're going to go in through the top hole and pull this down. I don't have good grip on my fingers because my thumb, I had an accident when I was younger, and I don't have nerves in my right thumb, or not normal nerves, so sometimes my grip is a little off. All right, so we're gonna go down and then up through the bottom hole. Sometimes it helps to twist the needle. And then we're gonna go back through, and we're just gonna do like a double stitch, really. That's it. It's not rocket science on these. I know the other books tend to give us a little bit more time. Now, the one thing you wanna check is you wanna make sure that you're not puncturing your thread already that's in there. Just make sure you're not puncturing it, because it tends to lose its stronghold. All right, and then we're going to come up through the bottom again, and then we're going to tie this off. Now, I have a little trick I use with my tying off, but you guys can use your own if you wanted to. We could have left a longer tail, but it's too late now. You don't want to pull too tight, because I've had a friend that happened to her and she almost pulled her book apart. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come underneath that first little, I think that's how I did it. Yeah, and then I come in the bottom on the other side, and that way it just kind of, I don't know, to me it makes it hold it more. I don't even know if that's true, y'all, but we're just doing it. And then we're just gonna make like a triple knot here, because we want to make sure that that stays together. Now, obviously this shifted a little bit, and you want to make sure it's all good before you tie it, because like I said, the sticker release paper is hard to work with. It's very slippery. Okay, and then I'm just gonna cut my little tail ends. All right, so we have this now. Now you may ask, how did I did that? Well, I'm gonna do one on one side and one on the other, because I didn't want to go through the tape. On my other sticker books, I actually went through the tape, but it made my, I don't know, it made it sticky. So we're just gonna go around the tape, if that makes sense. So let me hold this book down right here, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is decorative tape. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's in the duct tape section. It's the smaller one. And we're going to peel it. And then we'll cut it off there. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. And now we're just going to trim our ends. And we are almost done, you guys. These are probably the simplest little things that you can make that make a world of difference. All right, guys, we're almost done. Now we're just going to take our trim and put it down, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to take your fabric tack or your 3-in-1. You're just going to put a thin, tiny little layer across. I'm just barely going to squeeze because this is a newer bottle. And I'm just gonna kind of stretch that out. That's a little bit too much clumpy, so we're gonna wipe that off real quick. All right, now we're gonna take our trim and just kind of go up the middle and lay it down right on that glue. And then you're gonna kind of hold it there for a few minutes. Now you can use something heavy, because this book is gonna want to pop open, so I'm just gonna keep that there, and we're gonna let this dry. Now, rule number 1, always close your fabric tack because it's expensive glue. I accidentally left it open, and luckily it was so full and it dried up at the top, but oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, so now I let that dry. Everything is dry, so I'm just going to cut off the little ends right here. And there we go. It is a cute little sticker book to go in our ephemera pack. So if you guys have any questions on this tutorial, make sure you follow and please DM me. Thank you. Have a good day.